Kenny Hope, my man, how you doing?
I'm good, Randy. How's it going, man?
I'm doing good, man. My man Terrence Watson in the middle, my man, how you doing?
I'm good, but I think I'm frozen. I might need to jump out and jump back in.
Say no more, man. Say no more.
Uh, hey, Randy, that
That,
goes to show
the,
you this past weekend, it was something crazy.
the beauty of the beauty of live podcasting, the live video, man. Just never know what can happen. So until Terrence comes back on, you can follow my man Kenny on Twitter at Cowabunga _K_E_N. Follow myself. Rated J Cruz, Rendy, letter J C R U Z. Find the podcast on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, also on Amazon Music, YouTube.com/Cruise Control Podcast. Go ahead, download, rate, comment, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Show us some love and support for your boys on the program. We are taping this live following NXT on Tuesday, February 4th. So, any questions, feedback, comments you guys have, hit us up in the chat, and we'll get it on the screen. So Terrence is all Gucci right now. How we doing, Terrence? What's going on over there?
I'm great, man. I think I'm frozen, but let's see what happens.
We'll give it a couple seconds. So for the time being, you can follow my man Terrence on social media at Lower East Scribe. He's all the way in Portland, Oregon. New York, born and raised, but Portland, Oregon right now. So you're still frozen, man. What's going on? You were just good 5 minutes ago.
I don't know. They trying to hate on me like they hating on my
Okay.
man Jay Uso. Here we go.
Hey, there we go. There
Hey,
we
And I'm back.
yeah, you know who said that? You know who said that? Probably not Luka Doncic or Anthony Davis if they
go.
back.
Oh boy. Listen, I
Hey,
just want to say that Saturday was it was a lot going on Saturday.
yes.
If you're a big sports fan, there's a bunch of college basketball games going on.
Fire.
You had the Knicks and the Lakers at the Garden on Saturday night.
Fire.
You had the Royal Rumble, and then obviously the big trade after midnight with Luca, AD, Lakers, Mavericks. It was a lot going on. So I figured, hey man, I can't do Monday night to review Raw and the Rumble. I get my guys on Tuesday following NXT. I think next Monday I should be good. So let's plan out for Monday night right after Raw. Again, if you're watching live on Twitter or YouTube, got a question or comment, hit us up in the chat. If not, Kenny, Terrence, and I will talk for the next 45 minutes or so. Right off the back. Matter of fact, hold up. Shout out to John Cena in a chamber coming up. Look at this. Look at this throwback right here. Remember that one, Kenny?
That's classic.
New Year's resolution, mid 2000s fans. Y'all remember this? New Year's resolution,
06.
2006. That's
I,
when.
I bet you can't even name all 6 guys that was in that chamber match.
Let's see. John Cena,
Obviously.
Shawn.
Shawn Michaels,
Okay.
John Cena, Shawn Michaels, Carlito.
Was Trips in that?
No.
Nah, Tripp wasn't in that. He was still trying to go for the title.
So you got 3.
Alberto Del Rio.
No.
Okay, damn. Umaga?
I'm gonna say no, but no.
Oh,
You
damn.
got 3.
Randy
2006.
Orton? Was Randy Orton in it?
No.
No, this is no. Undertaker. No.
No.
Chris Jericho.
I'm gonna check Jericho.
Was Kurt in it?
Jericho, no. Who you said?
Kurt.
Kurt Angle was 4. So you're missing 2.
Edge.
That was my next guys.
Edge came out and beat Cena. Come on.
Yeah, that's right.
Shelton Benjamin?
No.
Ooh.
I gave you a hint. Who was Carlito's tag team partner at the time?
Chris Masters?
There you go.
Hey.
All right, down to one more. That's it. No more hints.
Man.
Cena.
Okay, you said no more hints.
Cena, Michaels, Chris Masters, Carlito.
I'll give you one hint. This guy was in the very first chamber.
Ooh,
Kane.
Kane, there you go.
oh, okay.
That's
John Cena, Carlito, Chris Masters, Shawn Michaels, Kurt Angle, and Kane 28-minute match chamber for the WWE Championship. Oh, look at that. I said it correctly this time. Look at that.
a 28. That match was 28 minutes.
Yes, sir. New Year's
Yeah.
Revolution 06. Oh, real quick.
Oh,
Is it still possible that The Rock is wrestling at WrestleMania 41? So we'll start right. Excuse me. We'll start right there. I've seen a rumor report, PW Insider, and again, we're gonna hear these rumors until the day of WrestleMania about who's main event, who's not performing. So right now, they are saying currently, I would assume a main event match will be CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns in a triple threat match at WrestleMania 41. Um, Seeing what we saw at the Royal Rumble, where Punk took out Roman and Seth, and then Logan Paul took out CM Punk, and then they start beefing outside. Seth with the stomp twice to Roman Reigns, and then Punk and Seth kept on fighting. So it might be brewing that Roman, Punk, and Seth might be in some sort of match at WrestleMania. Again, this is February 4th. Shit might change. But as of today, Terrence, I'll start with you. If it is CM Punk, Roman, and Seth in the main event of WrestleMania, probably night one, are you in favor of this potential triple threat match at WrestleMania?
Yeah, but as big as it is, and I know if they do it at Mania, it has to main event. It shouldn't. Um, I mean, think about it
Wow.
like there's no it doesn't need a title, right?
Mhm.
It's just pure hatred.
Correct.
But at the same time, then you kind of take away from Jey Uso's main event opportunity, Rhea Ripley, whoever she faces, um, and then of course Cody's,
Mhm.
right? Like, because only two, you know, of the four belts can main event. I don't think it would be Charlotte and Tiffy, which I guess we're all kind of leaning towards is the one that's going to
Mhm.
happen. As great a match as that could be. Uh, my guess is that Jay Uso is going to pick Gunther, and I think he does deserve to get a real main event spot, like for night one. Um, so what do? Do you not have Cody and whoever he faces probably out of Elimination Chamber, not headline? That doesn't make sense to me. So yeah, I don't know. I also I saw something from Trips where he said as much as we see online, like don't believe it. So I'm
No,
kind of
no,
going
I,
to
I will steer this to you, and I get it. There's a lot of matches you can have as your main event. Gunther and Jey Uso, Cody against X, anything with Punk, Roman, and Seth Rollins, Rhea, Charlotte Flair. Not every time a Rumble winner happens, they get to main event WrestleMania. Do you think that they should word it where, hey, if you win the Royal Rumble, you get a championship match at WrestleMania, as opposed to being locked in to you are now in the main event of WrestleMania? And I give you examples like when John Cena won in '08, he didn't main event WrestleMania 28, whatever it was. He was in the middle with Hunter and Randy Orton. Del Rio won the Royal Rumble. And you want to know when he went on
at the
against
beginning, right?
Edge?
first, right?
He went first.
Right.
Yeah, at the beginning.
Seth Rollins won the Royal Rumble against, and then he had Brock Lesnar first.
Yeah.
So my thing is, should they go away from saying main event of WrestleMania every time a Rumble winner happens, or just say, hey, if you win, you get a championship match of your choosing
I
at
mean, it's funny that you say that because uh, they kind of go back and forth with how they say it. So you're very right. Like, because they mostly say like, oh, I could choose this person, and like they make it a mention of like when they might, they don't always say that they're going to main event. It's just, I think, given the fact that Jey Uso is main event Jey Uso, he wants to lean into him being a main eventer. That being said, in that classic interview, the Broken Skulls interview, where I think it was Ric Flair said to Stone Cold, "If you don't go on last, you want to go on first." So I would be okay with a Jey Uso versus Gunther opening up either night. Night one, honestly, that might even an incredible way to kick it off.
Kenny, what do you think? What do you think? Are you in favor of a Punk, Roman, Seth triple threat possible match at Mania, or do you want to see them in their own little matches, like separately?
I think that because of the level of all three of them, you want to have them as high cards. You don't want to put them in a low or mid card. So I think they're, because of them, like as T said before, they're very much the aura of all three of those superstars. They could just main event themselves even with a title or without a title. And I think that if you do have a main event with a title, it depends on the champion and who it is and who can carry it, because all three of those guys can, within themselves, names alone, that you could just put to the top, maybe start off the beginning. I mean, didn't Seth open up last year against Drew McIntyre, night 2 or night 1?
Yeah, but he was in the main event of night 1, and then night 2 he got Drew. Yeah,
he got Drew. So I think as you could have him at the beginning or the end, you just can't have him. I don't know if you're gonna have him something in the middle, because it's going to create if you have in the beginning, it's going to probably set the tone of the night, and you don't know what's going to expect it. The end, I think they're better off you put them in the end. I'm interested to see how this is going to play out regarding a triple threat thing, because all three of them have, a notion together. Like, they all cost each other something, and how's it going to rework? And, it's really taking the attention away from us from, it's keeping it separate from Cody, Gunther, and now this is just ruling based off of past history.
Yeah.
Nostalgic, and just, everyone knows who all three are. So we're just waiting to see, like, who's going to take someone out, or who's going to turn, maybe backstab, or who's going to help assist. We just wait for that out.
Listen, plus the fact that we have Chamber coming up in March. Punk is in it, and John Cena so far for the men.
Right.
Punk beat Sami Zayn, and John Cena just entered himself like, I got a free spot. So it's seeing how that's going to transpire. Obviously it's gonna separate the playing field of, like, obviously if Punk wins Chamber, we're gonna get him and fucking Cody Rhodes at Mania. If obviously the winner of Chambers is gonna get Cody Rhodes. I'm trying to figure out. I know Cody has a WrestleMania main event spot. That's probably night 2, right? He's the fucking champion, right?
Right.
But then if John Cena wins that Chamber, then it's like, all right, what do I do with Punk, Seth, and Roman? Is it the triple threat? That's the only option you have, because Punk ain't gonna, like, it's gotta be Punk. Okay, Seth and Roman, I assume, are gonna be in the Chamber. I assume that, right?
Yeah.
Can we all assume that?
Yeah.
So if you don't think so,
I don't think so. So, all right. So, what do you think?
I want to hear y'all thought. Yeah.
No, tell me. So, okay, we got Punk and Cena. Who? Oh, because Roman Reigns is out,
right,
indefinitely, right?
Do you think Roman's going to even compete in the Chamber, or is he just going to go out for revenge against?
So, if you're out indefinitely, Chamber is a month, less than a month from now.
Yeah.
And we know he ain't doing no fucking qualifying matches.
Mm-hmm.
He got a spot if he wants it. So my thing is I can't see Seth winning and getting Cody at Mania now, do I? To get Punk and Roman by themselves?
If he does that, then they probably gonna one of them are gonna cost him the title, and then that's just gonna bring more.
Or Punk wins, he gets Cody, you get Seth and Roman, and then Cena gets what? That's the question. What does John Cena do? Does he get Logan Paul at WrestleMania?
I
Does he
think.
get
Oh,
Randy Orton at WrestleMania?
yeah, Logan Paul's gonna be in the. He's gonna be in that chamber
The
match.
Chamber?
He's Logan Paul's gonna go in there. He faces Rey Mysterio,
Oh,
and
yeah.
the way how Logan's connected in this too. So Punk is gonna be in there. Logan Paul's gonna be in there.
Mhm.
Logan Paul's the one that screwed CM Punk out of his title shot at WrestleMania with the Royal Rumble. So Punk's gonna Logan Paul's gonna be in there too. So
Mhm. T, what do you think, man? What do you think about this Chamber?
what do
How
you
would you play it out?
The multiverse of WWE is so
That's right.
crazy right now. But what I will say,
sir?
I wanna answer. Sorry if I mess up your name. It looked like it was either Nailani or Nilani.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see how they bring in Rock at this point and where he would fit in the storyline. But I also don't think you need to. I think we're kind of underestimating, and I get it, it's because of the excitement, and we're right at Mania. It's the first year that SummerSlam is going to be 2 nights. I
Yeah.
think we
Mhm.
get Rock at SummerSlam. We already did the whole let's throw the Rock in, let's infuse him in, we only got a couple weeks, and it worked. I don't know that
So
like
you're at a
we
point
tread
where
twice.
I want Rock and Roman. I don't give a fuck when it happens.
I'd rather it happen to SummerSlam. We need the three of them to get it on. Like we need that Rock, we need Roman, and we need CM Punk. And to be honest with you, Randy, like before you said it this way, I didn't think Cena won the Elimination Chamber. I don't know who I thought won it, but and this is like my own personal fan booking of like how I'd want it to go,
Mhm.
but it's also a little bit of me believing that this is how it will go. John Cena's whole like promo of I gotta earn this, right? I if you think about it like this, if we give him the title at WrestleMania, okay, so then he just defends it for a year and then he waves off into the sunset. What kind of that's boring. I think we got to make the fans desperate. We got to make him desperate. So even if he does win, I think he's going to continue to do this thing where he keeps coming close, right? Like the thing with Jey Uso at Rumble could have went either way. Everybody was like, "Oh, so it's going to be John, it's going to be John," and it wasn't, right?
No.
And then I think if he does win Chamber, okay, he loses to Cody. They're going to give
Mm.
us these spots where he keeps getting closer and
Mhm.
closer and closer. I think he wins Money in the Bank, right?
John Cena in the Money in the
Because
Bank match. Wow.
just hear me out.
I go
I
ahead.
think he
He
gets
might as
so
well just final
because
one.
he's so desperate, right? Like he keeps coming closer, right? I think he'll do everything as far as like even go down to NXT and give them a match. You know what I mean? I think he's gonna do a full farewell, right? But he keeps coming
Mm.
closer, and he just told everybody he actually wants to win, and they had to do that. He has to put the pressure on himself of I want to break the record.
Mhm.
But if he breaks it at WrestleMania, all right, cool. Then he just does a farewell tour, and it's like, well, what was the point in that?
Mhm.
Let him win Money in the Bank, right? Let him cash in at SummerSlam.
Ooh.
That then elevates SummerSlam, like because now it's 2 nights, right? And then we have another at that point 5 months of him as a champion, right? And then he then drops it
Mhm.
maybe to probably Randy Orton, who is the person who I think who then starts his journey of like, okay, can I come close to the Cena Flair rarefied air? Whether he breaks it or not, he probably won't. Maybe they'll they'll let Cena have it. But the
Yeah.
point is, I think that's where we get. They got to give the fans something to actually like be emotionally like charged about, and make us wonder like, yo, is he gonna break this? Like, you know. So that's the way I book it. I don't think he wins just yet.
I feel that I feel The Rock is fucking up a lot of shit. I feel like, come on, because if he's there, I get Rock Roman, I get Cena Cody, I get that's right. Maybe I don't know. Punk. Oh, Jesus Christ! I don't know because it's a good problem to have,
Mhm.
but now we're getting closer. It's like, damn, I don't want that. If we never got Punk and Rollins on Netflix on Raw, I could see, you know what? I could see Punk and Rollins at WrestleMania. 'Cause it never happened, you know. But now it happened on Raw. It's like, do I want to see that again? If it was for a world title, I
Yeah,
mean,
that would be good.
that's different. But again, this feud has to stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how long they can keep prolonging it. Seth and Roman Reigns, on the other hand, it's like, oh shit, we saw before 3 years ago, and Seth won by like DQ account or whatever it was at the Rumble. So they never went back to it. So that might be a match I wouldn't mind seeing if that was like a plan A, a plan B, plan C at WrestleMania. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind Punk and Roman Reigns. I think most of us wouldn't mind that. It's like, how do you get there? And then Seth being the odd man out again at a fucking WrestleMania, I kind of feel bad for the dude because he's been having a great year or two, and it's like, damn, what do I have for him? Are you gonna put him in that spot against Cody Rhodes for the title at WrestleMania? I don't think they do that. Then it's like, oh, you run it back with Cody and Roman part 3, which I don't fucking know. So, I'm lost for words here because this is really fucking me up.
Do you think that when The Rock came at Bad Blood, that it was like a tease to everything that
I still
happened?
don't know why Rock came out if I didn't see him in November, December, January, Royal Rumble. Aside from Raw on Netflix, like I talk about Final Boss Rock, not
Yeah,
corporate.
not Netflix,
Not corporate.
You
No.
know,
business,
like yo,
business quota.
because with that you just wiped out potentially. You wiped out 2 matches, Cody and The Rock and Rock and Roman Reigns. That was two money WrestleMania matches just whew, out the fucking door.
Do you think that it also will be saved with as this new bloodline continues and possibly maybe the return to Solo as well?
What new bloodline? What new bloodline we talking about? Not
Jacob,
not the solo one.
nah, I'm talking about the rise of Jacob Fatu.
Yeah, but I think it shouldn't be the bloodline. I think I think we have to start getting away from the bloodline. Is Roman, Usos, Heyman, Sami Zayn, like what it once was. Then you
Yeah,
have new
so this
bloodline with the Solo crew. All right, Solo's been losing. He might get Jacob at WrestleMania. Then what bloodline 2.0 do we have?
okay. So you think this?
They got to start getting away from that.
So this is all new. This is not even what it is. This is just like new regarding like past and hatred. That's
Yeah,
being
just like Jacob and my people. Like he might say fuck Solo, and I'm on my bullshit, and I'm doing my own thing.
yeah, because Roman is now got his own sparking back beef with Seth and Punk.
Yeah,
So all this is everything now is just generating everything new.
yeah,
Everything now generating new and is creating
you
his
have
own.
to.
It's not being repetitive for the last 2 years. So we're seeing something new.
Hmm.
And basically, if you got to know the past of it, you got to know the past or the history regarding that. So that makes it generate to now, which gives me to this. What do you think that's going to, what do you think is going to happen with, we were talking about this earlier, for one of y'all, what do you think is going to happen regarding Kevin Owens
Hmm.
and Sami Zayn? Do you make that an elimination chamber match, or do you build this up all the way to WrestleMania?
Wanna go first, Terrence, or me?
You go.
Um, since Chamber is in Toronto, Canada,
Oh,
um,
let's hear it.
I think Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens should be at Chamber.
Mm,
Um, WrestleMania, no, because I'm still keeping out hope that Randy Orton might pop up eventually and get his comeback against Kevin Owens. So
okay.
unless they go to a different lane, You can't. I just don't think you could hold off Sammy and KO for another month and a half, 2 months to get to WrestleMania. I think it's. I think it should culminate at Chamber. You're in Canada. Someone's gonna be. They both might be cheered. We just don't know. One might get booed. That's Kevin Owens, but he might still get cheered in his home country. And then what do you do from there? I think you spark off KO and Orton from there. Then again, the question is, what do you do with Sami Zayn at WrestleMania? Uh, I mean, if you don't really care about that, then you don't. But Sami Zayn is a top flight talent on the roster. You got to put him in a prominent position, unless you're going to do him and Drew McIntyre, which I don't think people want to see that. So it's I think a lot of the matches that they have done, or we talk about WrestleMania potential, has already happened in the last calendar year. So it's like, all right, Sammy and Drew. I just saw that. I just saw Seth and Punk. But this is the world we live in now, because years ago when we saw Rock and Stone Cold at fucking In Your House in December, we still wanted them to go at it at the Royal Rumble and at WrestleMania. It just a different time. And now it's like, I saw it. All right, I don't want no more. But to go back to the well, it's like, why? What's the story? What's the reason? Give me the history again of Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens to make it feel, all right, this whole big chamber Canadian kind of thing. Like, all right, cool, I'm down with it. So before you go, next, Terrence, uh, Marcus, we need Solo and Jacob at Mania, KO and Sammy too, Roman and Seth pulling or one on one instead of the three-way with Punk. Old ties die hard.
Good quote.
All right, Terrence. KO Sammy, you take it for the Solo and Jacob. I agree with that. And Roman, like I said, Roman and Seth needs to happen at some point.
I mean, I'm with you guys on of the two possibilities. I'd rather be Roman versus Seth, but I actually do want to see a triple threat match between Roman, Seth, and Punk.
Mhm.
If I had to pick, I would go that way. I think again, like they don't need a title. It's just pure hatred at this point. Like it's just smoke. You know what I'm saying? Solo, Solo versus Jacob. I don't know. What's interesting there, like Kenny, I'm with you. Like I think like it's cool that we're kind of going away from the way the bloodline story has been. I think I said on the last episode, I want to see
Yeah.
the bloodline just be like NWO.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not that they have to have smoke all the time, but they just every now and then, no pun intended, acknowledge that we're all under Rome. You know what I mean? Like, so when Solo comes back, that has to happen, right? That hasn't happened yet,
And we haven't seen him since what? The premiere on Netflix?
right? And he just walked out. It wasn't even like anything happened. He just
Yeah.
left.
Word.
So it's not like he's hurt. He
Oh,
just
that's right. You dropped the mic, yeah.
right. He just left. So what I think he has to acknowledge Roman, and I think that ends up opening up the door for like again, like it's not so much like a, you know, they're the bloodline because that is who they are, right? Like it's
Mhm.
kind of one of those points in the story where real life kind of bleeds into like the storyline. They don't have to acknowledge it all the time, and so like we can go away from it, and they can let Jacob go and do his thing, but it's always gonna be like, but him and the Usos have a connection. Him and Roman
Yeah.
have a connection. They still do have to sometimes fall in line for what he has to say, but at this point, it's not so much bloodline, OG bloodline versus it's not a versus thing. It's just we're all under Roman, and this allows for them to kind of all go do their thing. I don't even think we need Solo versus Jacob. I want to see Jacob either versus Braun Strowman, uh, really against any other monster. Like I just want to see furniture moving. I
Mhm.
want to see the rim. I'm not the rim, the ring break. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like how much damage can we have these big ginormous dudes do?
Mhm.
That's what I want to see. And in terms of KO Sammy, you have to do it in Toronto. I think that's what they're leading towards. But I
Mhm.
wouldn't be surprised if KO beats the snot out of Sammy, and then all of a sudden we all hear voices in our head. You feel me?
Oh.
Next thing you know, Orton's back, and that gets them ready for Mania.
I could see
Yeah,
that.
I can see that. And look,
That'd be really
just,
good.
2 years ago, Sammy and KO were in the main event for the tag titles,
Mm-hmm.
tag team
Yeah,
championship,
yeah.
Right.
and it so was I think when they were feuding, I guess years ago when KO was kind of mad, Sammy was with the bloodline and all that. We never seen a heel Sammy and a face KO. KO has always been the bad guy in this feud. So it's like, all right, KO is a better heel than face. That's a fact.
Yes.
Correct.
That's his wheelhouse. I think Chamber. What I would like to see, knowing that there's 2 Chamber matches going on, like I think this match should have a stipulation, like not no regular 1-on-1. I don't want to do that because this is a real hot feud that you have a month or so to get even hotter. I'm not saying cage because Chamber's already there, but like could be like street fight, something like that, where it's like you get the weapons involved.
A
It can't be no
Canadian street fight.
Canadian street fight. Look at that! Wow, I would have
Mo-
never thought about that. Canadian fucking street fight.
Mounties, mooses,
Oh, so this now you're doing too much. Now you sound like National Geographic. All right.
Jim Carrey movies, Toronto Maple Leaf hockey sticks. Hey,
Yeah.
Drake albums. I don't know.
Hey, fuck it. Bring out Bret Hart. Get the old. Yeah, come on, man. Do it.
And I would say my little wild horse for that match is this. We get the Canadian street fight happen, but this is going to insert this. I think one thing, I think Drew McIntyre is going to come out and assist Kevin Owens because he's probably had enough of Sammy's involvement regarding what Drew has his vision of what right is wrong. In some way, Sammy's involved, Punk is involved, and there's some type of connection. And I think that's going to spark Punk. That's going to spark Kevin Owens and Drew McIntyre's allegiance to each other, and that's going to maybe birth something new. I could see that happening. You bring Drew in there, and then next thing you know, Drew's has an involvement with Kevin and Sammy. That's going to push on for the next couple months.
Okay.
Drew. I think Drew's going to be at WrestleMania. This is one way to get him out there, not to like steer it on. So I think that could happen.
Drew is an interesting topic because I'm hearing him and Damian Priest might be the match at WrestleMania.
That could be a possible
because I think Damian threw out Drew
at the Royal Rumble.
And I kept hearing about LA Knight, the spot. He got fucked up. Drew's mad.
I thought it was Logan. He was mad at Logan.
Well, it was because of it was just that was the spot. It was Logan and LA Knight.
Yeah,
but I think signals got crossed.
Logan was looking at the camera too much when he was supposed to face off against LA Knight. So that's when they apparently looked like they rushed the spot. So
speaking of the Rumble, just so I stay on lane. What'd you guys make of the Rumble? And the fact that we did get Charlotte winning the women's and Jey Uso winning the men's. We saw a lot of returns.
Yep.
Obviously, Charlotte came back. Alexa Bliss came back. AJ Styles came back. We've seen the fucking TNA World Champion Joe Hendry in the Rumble. Nikki Bella came back in the Rumble. So, what was your overall takes of? Obviously, Cody won.
Oh my God! What
still
a
tag champions DIY and
Street Profits return.
Yeah, they returned. They helped DIY win. So what'd you make of the Rumble, fellas?
I think it was it was really good. It was beginning to end. It was a good Rumble. That Rumble had me on my edge of my seat. A lot of good returns, surprising returns. The biggest pops to me that the crowd really enjoyed was Alexa Bliss's return.
Facts.
And let alone Joe Hendry, because he got that song embedded in your head. Everyone knew about it, so that was really good. But more so Alexa Bliss, because a lot of us thought that she wasn't going to come back. But then next she came in.
Did you think that, Kenny? Did you think she wasn't going to pop up?
I knew she was, but but the way how it was, I guess I was expecting a lot more because from Becky Lynch, maybe AJ
True.
Lee, I was expecting a lot
Mhm.
more. So Alexa Bliss, I was thinking, but I was more concerned about more to see because I know she's a mom
Yeah.
and that. So, but that was
We
really
got
good.
Trish too. Trish came
Trish
back.
came out, legend,
Yeah.
yeah, good Trish, not heel
Yeah.
Trish. So,
That's right.
but
Rock and roll.
Jordan came out too from TNA.
Grace, right?
Jordan Grace, yeah.
Well,
Well,
she's with them now.
she's with WWE now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was really good. That was a really good matchup. But I say it was a really good Rumble. I enjoyed it from beginning to end. All the matches were
Mhm.
really good. I would give it, if I was to rate it, I would give it like a high B plus, maybe to an A.
Okay.
T, what about you, man?
Yeah, I'm going solid A. It was
All
great. I
right.
don't think that there was, you know, I'm not the I'm a big fan of their work. I think that their characters are kind of boring, but I was gonna say like even like Motor City Machine Guns, amazing tag team, but
Mhm.
they're just they're great for people who just want pure graps, right? So even that crowd had something to really be excited about. Uh, for the women, I think I did predict like Charlotte, if she came back, would probably win. She was definitely like one of the choices we were talking about in the chat. Um, so yeah, no surprise there. I did think the spot. The only thing I could be like, oh, okay. I did think the spot where Nia threw out everybody was kind of like, damn, all right. Like, I would have loved to see Bianca in a little bit longer, probably just because I'm a huge Bianca fan. But yeah, I thought that that was interesting. Um, but yeah, I had no qualms with Charlotte winning. Um, and then on the men's side, I think we all were shocked, or at least I can speak for myself.
I
I
was
did
too.
not have Jey
Mhm.
Uso even in the bottom four. Like it was hard for me to get the five, and he wasn't there. Not for me. So once they got rid of, that spot where Cena, Roman, and Punk are gone, I was like, oh wait,
Oh wow, and eliminated by Logan Paul,
right. I was like,
Of all people, right?
is it
bro.
Cena? Like I was like, oh, okay, they must be going Cena.
We're giving a push to Logan Paul now, heavily into the
I
mix. I'm
mean,
just
let's
like,
keep it a buck. Nobody likes him, but the
but he can
guy's
wrestle.
phenomenal.
He can
Like
wrestle.
Yeah.
you would think the guy grew up the same way the rest of these guys did, and like got in the business when he was 20 years old, and that's how well he performs. And because he's an actual asshole. Oh, you mean I get to just go out and be an actual asshole? I mean, he could, if he commits, he could be one of the greatest heels of all time because he's actually a dick and he's incredibly athletically gifted. Like
Mhm.
so, yeah, I'm not mad about him getting a push. I hate that I said that out loud. Um, I do want to see him in Elimination Chamber.
He's
Not
gonna
to go
go.
too far off from what we're talking about. I do want to see him in Elimination Chamber. I
He's gonna.
also, just to go back to what y'all was saying, uh, I want to see Drew McIntyre in Elimination Chamber too.
Hmm.
That's where I would steer him towards.
I think he'll be in it. I think so.
Yeah, I would steer him towards that. But to stay on topic with Rumble, the winners, I think they both deserved it. I think they both were great. I do want to see Tiffy take on, Charlotte. I think that that would be an incredible match. And I think we all want to see Jay versus Gunther, and for him to
Mhm.
really get his opportunity and his real shine and and win it at WrestleMania. Um, I kind of want to change the topic real quick, Randy, if that's okay. Uh, just to lean into,
Depends, because I was
well, I
going
want to lean
somewhere.
into us talking about people's
Unless
reaction.
there you go. I was going there next.
Yo, because I think like
Talk to me.
I think Charlotte has done enough that she could come back and win, and it's not whack. It definitely leans into the storyline. Plus, we think about like with how incredible the women's division is
Mhm.
across the board from NXT up. A lot of that has to do with Charlotte. She's part of the generation that put the women in a position that they are in now. So it's only right that when she comes back, she gets a shot. I feel like, and with Jay, I mean, the dude's been at it like he said for 15 years, and has climbed and climbed and climbed. and he definitely deserved his spot. And it's funny, it's almost a reverse. Like I think like the the internet is kind of saying that they didn't want Jay to win, but in real life, everybody's excited about him. Whereas on the flip, like right, you know what I'm saying? Like whereas on the flip, uh like somehow Charlotte is kind of getting heat for winning, but the internet didn't really like dislike her winning, like on the YouTube likes and the comments. It's funny that the two of roles are kind of reversed.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
shocking on Monday.
it was shocking. One because I was at work and I wanted when I got home I wanted to see the reactions for just about everybody. Obviously the returns. I fast forward straight to Alexa and AJ. I want to hear the pop and Charlotte. Um, Charlotte got a great fucking pop. Like, mind you, it was 70,000 people there, right? That pop was crazy when she came out. When she won, I didn't really hear boos from the crowds. I'm thinking, oh, they're embracing. She came back. It's the injury. It's a year away. It's the grind. I come back. I win the Rumble, and it's a feel good moment. You fast forward to Jay, a guy who's been in this business for, as you mentioned, 12, 13, 14, 15 years, tag team guy. Nobody thought he'll be a good singles wrestler. He breaks away from the Usos and um, carved out his own lane away from Jimmy, away from Roman and the bloodline. Like, oh shit, I fuck with Roman, but my boy right here, Jey Uso, getting introduced after Roman for a certain pay per view. That oh shit, he's his own guy now, and for him to win it, not just be Final Four, last three, last two. You're in the ring with John Cena. Like we all know what John's trying to do in his fucking world tour, and you get the extra rub from John Cena because you threw him out to win the Rumble. And again, the crowd went crazy for Jay no matter where he goes. And it was just weird seeing on social. This is it should have been Punk. It should have been Cena. It should have been Roman. What is Jey Uso going to do? He's going to pick Gunther again and lose. We just saw that match, and like that part I get. I just saw that match as Saturday main event. We did see that, but then this is the trial and tribulations. I'm 0-2, 0-3 against Gunther. If I gotta, like Ric Flair said, if I gotta beat a man, I gotta beat the man. I gotta take down Gunther, and why not do it in the fucking middle of the ring in the main event of WrestleMania, and I could become world champ for the first time. And that crowd eating all at once,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
You thought Rumble was crazy. Las Vegas is gonna be even crazier. Like it's gonna be a feel good moment. I felt weird. Like why would they do that to Jay? Because I listen. I tweeted this out. I've seen Del Rio win the Rumble and a dud at WrestleMania. I've seen Sheamus win the Rumble, and he won. That was the 10-second against Daniel Bryan, right?
Yep.
I'm bugging. All right. What was that? I've seen other kind of winners at WrestleMania. I love Orton, but when he won it, and it fought Bray, that wasn't a really good match. I seen Nakamura win the Rumble and then have a dud against AJ Styles. So when I see Jey Uso, all you guys are cheering for him. What's the point of cheering for the guy to win the Rumble, and then on social, that's not. I want to see that match. Like, which one is it, bro? Like, were you part of that crowd cheering, or were you part of the crowd on social shitting on him and Charlotte, which I don't understand. Then you get Charlotte with the promo on Raw. They're booing her. She's saying, "Oh, I missed Survivor Series. I missed all that. Now you're booing me." Now she in her mind's got to switch. Like, am I going heel? Am I being tweener? Because I just don't know. I found the whole thing strange. I'm glad Charlotte's back. I got no problem with her with the Rumble win or Jey Uso. And well, Jay's what, early 40s? Am I bugging?
38, 39, somewhere.
30
late
and
30s,
late 30s.
right? Late 30s. But and I love these guys. If Punk would have won, Punk is what, mid 40s?
40s. He's in his 40s.
John Cena, if he would have won, he's damn near 50.
50.
You know what I'm saying? Because like, let's keep it a buck. you got a younger star. You
Mhm.
built a new star to win the Rumble, and now when he gets it, it's because now I don't think I just saw the match against Gunther. Then before that, don't put the fucking match on main event. Save that for WrestleMania. That's the only thing I would say. But for them to be shitted on, nah, man. We all good with that. Never forget about the feud between Nakamura and AJ, aka the pot shot contest of doom.
Doom, God.
All right, fill me in. What was the pot shot of contest of doom? What was that? What is that? Or am I bugging? Oh, I think that's the nickname for the match, right?
I think that's what it means because I was
Yeah,
always
but that was again, even that did not main event WrestleMania. That
yeah
was 34 in New Orleans. That no, because it was Brock and Roman in 34.
Brock and Roman.
Yeah, New Orleans.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Like, main event WrestleMania. You can get a championship match at WrestleMania, but not main event. But yeah, uh, Kenny, did you see the same thing with the crowd shifting with Uso and shifting with Charlotte on? I would say on social about they weren't really fans of them winning.
yeah, because I guess everyone had their favorites. I mean, we all
If it wasn't Charlotte, give me somebody. Who
they
was it?
wanted if it wasn't going to be Charlotte, everyone wanted to be like they wanted
Bianca.
someone like Bianca or
Okay.
Bianca win or Bianca or
Oh,
not not Bayley because
okay.
Bailey's have a recent. We already saw Nia one
Yeah.
with Liv.
Exactly.
So, but I think one thing is, some fans would just, they felt that, Charlotte's always, you know, even though how great she is, it's just great what she's doing. She's winning. She's always that, like, she comes back. She's just given this, like, let Charlotte win
Kenny,
instead
I
of
got breaking news for you. Charlotte's
the
the
GOAT.
best.
I know she's the best. She's the
She's the
best ever
best.
to do it. We already said this like 2 or 3 shows before. So, and then when she came out on Monday, you know, I was kind of, just waiting for her, to talk about, what was going on, more so like her recovery coming back. But then, it was very shocking. I was just like, wow, like the crowd's really giving her like Hulk Hogan treatment. I'm like, this is Charlotte Flair. Like, come on. But
Yeah, that's crazy.
it was like, she was trying to talk, but they were booing her as she was like, I guess trying to be real sincere with them, talk about her injury. It really broke down with her emotionally, mentally, but Charlotte being the pro that she is, she's like, oh, y'all gonna boo me? Y'all can still boo me, but guess what? Y'all still gonna remember I'm still one of the greatest. And she just rolled with that. So that's when she just did the flips, like, all right,
You know what it's like, y'all? It's like when you're a kid, you get a brand new toy, and
oh,
you love that toy so much for months, maybe a year. I love this toy. Then you get a new toy, and you like this. I ain't playing this shit no more. I'm playing the new toy. It's a cycle. Everybody loves Rhea Ripley now, right or wrong. Before it was Charlotte. Before it was the man Becky. Before it was Sasha. Then it was Bianca. Like we do this, and now Rhea's on top. And the fact that you have Charlotte Flair win the Royal Rumble, and some are gonna put out there, I don't want to see Charlotte and Rhea again. You don't. Uh, Charlotte won the first time.
we did.
Rhea won the second time. You don't want to see a part three to that?
I do.
I do. I think just some fans are just, well, some people just don't want to see are not used this time now. They're not used to repetition or just want to see longevity. They want to
But they
see.
weren't saying that, oh, why would you give me Stone Cold and The Rock for the third time when Stone Cold was 2-0 against them?
That's not us. These are like, I don't know,
I know.
different times. Times are different now. People don't want to see a long longevity regarding like superstars over and over again. They just want to see someone new. They want to see someone. And by the way, nice analogy you use that regarding Toy Story with Charlotte Flair. You comparing Charlotte Flair to Woody and Buzz from Toy Story.
No, I said just a new toy. Like it's just like, hey,
Hey, that was a good way of doing it, but
the new toy, and then the old toy comes back. Nah. I'm on this toy right now. No, you bugging. Like it just.
but
what I did notice from the Rumble, Terrence, you tell me. Like I think it's again, we get no Jay Cargill. We get no story advancement of
Yeah.
like what's going on with that. And I'm looking at Bianca and I'm like, yo, we gotta get her back to singles. I don't know. It's just something about the tag team. Like she's been a tag team for too long, like a year and a half now. Am I
Yeah,
bugging? Like,
yeah.
yo, can we get Bianca back in the singles rotation? What's going on?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it would depend on who they'd even drop it to. I want to chime in on that real quick, like the Charlotte J thing too.
Yeah.
Not to go
Now
back
you
to it,
go
but
ahead. You
I
good?
think the people's issue with Charlotte is they think that she, like you said, Kenny, she always gets everything, but they're not taking into account that she always earns everything. You
Speak
know what
for
I'm saying? Like
Mm.
she is. How hard is it to be the daughter of of one of wrestling's Mount Rushmore and be on the women's side of that Mount Rushmore to actually
mm,
live up to the name and to be without question at least one of the top five to ever lace them up from a female perspective, and you can make a case top 20, top 25 ever, male or female. Like she's incredible,
right.
right? And people are now upset that like, okay, so what the internet saying is like, well, she gets everything and she doesn't put young talent over, and I don't believe that. Like,
Mm.
look at like to your point, Randy. We got the Rhea Ripley that we love and know and respect now because she beat Charlotte at Mania.
Mm.
So you're saying she doesn't put people over? That's crazy. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
she
not.
lost. She lost to a lot of people. Like, hey, she's not undefeated.
Right, right. So what are you talking about? And then in terms of Jay, like the big like knock on him is like, oh, we're gonna get the same match, and it's like, guess what? Every wrestler you're a fan of, you get the same match.
Yeah,
Mm,
Like they talked about like the
exactly.
whole Gunther thing. You know how many chops he did
a
or
lot.
does? A lot. You
Mm.
know, like Ric Flair. We all love Ric Flair. Hogan said this is the only one of the few things Hogan's ever said that was slightly true
Hmm.
out of his mouth ever. For Ric Flair's matches, you knew what you were gonna get, right? Like we knew we were gonna get chops. We were probably gonna get some semblance of, he was gonna work the leg so he could put you in the figure four. You know what I mean? He was probably gonna get tossed over the turnbuckle, flip over it, and then like
It
maybe
was
like
infamous
walk and
foul
then fall
fall.
down. But you know what? You know why we got that? Because the crowd loved it, and we
Yeah,
know going in, oh, we're going to see him do one of the things that makes us so excited, in this
Yeah,
match. So there's nothing wrong with the way Jey Uso wrestles. Um, and I think that those are the wrong reasons to have issues with Jay or Charlotte winning. Yeah, I just had to get that off my chest because sometimes the internet is just a stupid place, and they oftentimes don't know what they're talking about.
which brings me to this. T. Do you think that would you compare? Now we talked about Charlotte. Now going to Jay. Do you think like Jay Uso's newfound glory, the road to WrestleMania? Do you think would you compare it to, i.e., Kofi Mania, or compare it to Daniel Bryan's yes stage? Because the Yeet Mania is huge.
Yo, I don't know if we had this recording
we
and
do. We
so
we still going.
no, I'm saying before. Like I don't know if we had it recording
Oh,
when we said something about the heat wave, but the heat wave is here. You know what I'm saying? And
Oh,
I,
the
and I
Yeet
do
Wave.
think that the heat wave
You heard
is
it
up
here.
there with
The
Kofi
Yeet Wave.
Mania.
He said it.
yo, Jey
Yo,
Uso, yeet, wave. You
yo,
gotta.
Yeet.
You're welcome.
Hey,
Send the
yo, the heat
royalties over
wave
here,
movement is
Hunter.
here.
Yeet.
Let me
Uh,
know.
Hey, so
Yeet,
T, tell him
wave.
what is
Uso, it's the heat wave.
tell him
You
what
feel
is
me?
the heat wave? What is the
Ye-
heat wave? Define it.
Yeet wave.
I mean,
Yeet.
I think we got right. I think we all know that Jey Uso has the heat. He has the moment. He has the wave right now.
And
If
that's my point. Thank you for reminding me. Thank
yo,
you.
if anyone else had the momentum that Jey Uso had, right? Then why is it that every artist that they bring, every influencer they bring, everyone always wants to be attached to Jey Uso when he comes out? And this isn't a shot at anyone else, like no one else.
Travis
But
Scott.
the biggest rap artist on the planet was like, "Nah, I got to come out with Jey Uso. I like that. I want to be a part of that." You know what I'm saying? Quavo came out and was like, "I got to be a part of that." Like,
Yeah.
what are we talking about?
Quavo, Trav, Lil Wayne, like
Lil Wayne, like,
Yeah,
right? Everybody comes out with Jey Uso, mind you. That was early in the Yeet wave. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I just feel like we got to acknowledge it. We got to respect it, and I do think it's the biggest thing since Kofi Mania, and I hope that they really give him a real run with it too.
and I was gonna get there. That was the one point I had written down. I don't know why I didn't get to it. Going back to the Rumble, this guy has the crowd in the palm of his hands, right? Every time he comes out, it reminds me of like just the whole mania. If I use the word mania, I'm gonna use the word mania. The mania of a Jey Uso entrance, the mania of, you could say a Jey Uso match is the mania like Kofi Kingston had in 2019 with WrestleMania 35 with Daniel Bryan, where it was not supposed to happen, right? Kofi was not in that chamber match. He gets in, and boom, you get him and Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania, and it's Kofi Mania. Kofi, never, hello, never been world champion, just like Jey Uso, never been world champion. And then the crowd wanted Kofi, and Daniel Bryan was the bad guy. He had the plant based whatever world title, whatever this shit was, the wooden title, right? So when you combine both of them shits, it's like, oh, we're gonna ride Kofi to WrestleMania, and then breaking news, he won at WrestleMania. You want to rewind the tape further? It's Daniel Bryan, WrestleMania, right? They wanted him to win the Rumble. He don't win it. Everybody gets mad because it's I think Roman won that Mania. Am I bugging? Who won the Rumble? Oh, fucking Batista won the Rumble.
Yeah.
Batista won the Rumble, and so Daniel Bryan got to do this, do that. I got to beat Triple H, and then I get a chip match at the end. But the crowd was hot. The crowd was behind Daniel Bryan for months and months and months and months. And when he won it, nobody complained. When Kofi won it, nobody complained. Now with Jey Uso, when he wins, now people bitching complaining that he won the Rumble. So it's like, if you did it for Kofi and Daniel Bryan, why are you not doing it for Jey Uso? What's the difference now than what it was?
Well, Randy, I want to make a real quick observation too.
Yeah,
is they're not doing it online. In real life, they're doing it. And real life to me matters way more, right? Like,
that's a fact. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, they are you can't go anywhere and not get caught in the heat wave. You feel me? Like,
that's right.
every time
But it shows you how far away, even though social was still going for them in 2014, 15, it just shows you how far advanced we've become. Like, people are just gonna do this and complain, but in the arena, in the stadium, you can't tell me different.
Yo, they had this man come back and do his entrance again.
Before
I've never seen that.
They was like, do it one more time.
I've never seen
that. Was crazy.
Yo, the guy,
if I didn't like you, I won't tell you do that shit again.
You feel me? Like, yo, the in real life and where it matters, I think that Jey Uso still has all the momentum and all the love, and when that moment happens, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be incredible, right? Like,
bro, the ending
you just made me think of that visual of Vegas.
It's gotta be the end of night one, and you gotta go off the air with Jey Uso with the world title and the whole fucking Vegas stadium.
Yeah, Jimmy comes out, Sammy probably comes out, does it with him. Maybe Roman.
Nah, Roman
might.
He might, because
after
nah, Roman's like, yeah, tough guy. I love you, bro. From here, I ain't going out there.
Look, all I know is Jey Uso. He's hot right now, as he said. The heat wave is on, but they're picking up with it, and they're not going to. At their best guess, they just going with they riding with it. They're not going to try to drop this because we said this before. If they did, then we don't want him to fall into obscurity. Like we don't like. All right, that was a nice wave, but they didn't do nothing with it. So
Yeah,
now this is pick up and kill it. So
but then that'll be back to back manias. Gunther drops the title.
yeah, he dropped it to Sammy, his
IC
Intercontinental
and
title, and then the
World Heavyweight.
But honestly, that's perfect. But and here's my reason why. This also elevates Gunther. Now he leaves the heavyweight title world alone. We don't need a series between him and Jay. He's already beat him a bunch of times.
Mm-hmm.
Let Jay kind of own that space. Put Gunther up in the the Cody.
The Cody Rhodes title.
Right, yeah, like because
Okay.
that's what happened. He had to drop the belt for him to move up. He elevated the belt in terms of the IC championship. Well, that's crazy to say, but you know what I mean. Like he held it for a really long time. He's held this belt for long enough. But honestly, I like this IC run more than I like this one anyway. But I do think we don't have too many heels at the top.
Agreed.
And so put him in that space, let him drop this belt. And honestly, having him drop it at Mania also says a lot. You know what I mean? Like it's everything, all the cards on the table at Mania. It's go big or go home at Mania. So yeah, if that's when he loses his titles, I'm sure he'll be okay with that.
No, I agree. No, I think Uso got something good going on. The online fans should appreciate it. I suppose it's fucking bitch and complain about everything. My last point before I let you guys go. I think NBA All Star Weekend is coming up pretty soon. They gave the announcement of the celebrity game, the participants, and someone that we know from the WWE is on the roster. Her name is Bayley.
Oof.
So congrats to her. I never. I think the Miz was a part of it. I don't think he played. Did he play?
He did play. I remember seeing that. He did play.
How was he? Was he good?
I think he
He
made
dropping dimes.
I think he made one layup or so.
Okay.
Made about one layup. So interesting for Bayley.
I mean, I think it's in. She's from the Bay Area, so that makes
And
sense.
Fran, she
So
can hoop.
congrats to her. So what are we expecting from Bailey? Like what's the bare minimum? You gotta drop. You gotta score at least one time for Bailey.
I say she drops maybe
Oh.
4, maybe 6 points, drop 2 dimes.
All right, so with 6 points, 2 assists for Bailey in the celebrity game. What do you got, Terrence?
I don't know. She kind of campaigned for this. I don't know if y'all remember, but
Yeah, if
she
you
posted a
campaign,
bunch of
you
social.
got some game.
Yeah, she can shoot. So I definitely say that's about accurate. I can see her scoring, 4 to 6 points, off of a couple of jumpers. Basketball lady is what BBL stands for. At least that's what Cena. I mean, that's what Punk said.
Yeah.
I actually have one more question before we jump, if you have time.
Bust it. Go ahead.
As much as we're loving talking about Jay, I'm actually like low key enjoying Jimmy's singles run, and I hope he gets a U.S. title opportunity. I feel like he's there. Like I feel like it would kind of cement all that Roman has done in order to elevate everybody around him. And his story is like not like I'm entertained by his matches. I'm entertained by his story. I think that's kind of where I would cap it. Like I don't think I would put him higher than that, but I kind of don't buy Nakamura as a U.S. champion. Like I wouldn't put him lower than Intercontinental, so it kind of feels weird to me. But I do like the Jimmy. I do kind of see Jimmy being able to hold that down for a little bit. What do y'all's thoughts?
You know what I just thought of? What could be very cool and interesting. We know Roman's not champion, but when you create the bloodline, you create those opportunities for the guys you bring on board to eventually become some sort of champion. So Roman's not champion now, but Jey Uso might be in line for a World Heavyweight Championship. You saying Jimmy Uso could be maybe hopefully in line for a U.S. Championship. So they're not tag champion, but they're singles champion. So let's say hypothetically, Jey Uso world champ, Jimmy Uso U.S. champion. Let's say, dare I say, Jacob beats Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship.
I would love that.
Now you're
I can
offspringing
see that.
other bloodline members to be champions, not named Roman Reigns.
Right.
So it just like it just shows like I don't got to be a champ, but as long as my people are in the world title contender, that's why the bloodline is so important. That's why it is the way it is because it's not just about Roman Reigns. It's about what I can do for other people. It's my family, but you're building stars, not Roman Reigns. I'm building Jay. I'm building Jimmy. I'm building Solo. I'm building Jacob. And it's like obviously you had Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa maybe become tag champions again down the road, but still that's like the ultimate culmination of what this is supposed to be. Not just me. It's about them. So if they become champions on their own, Roman can sit back like, damn, like, wow,
Like, hey,
I did my
everybody
job.
eats. Everybody eats.
There you go, Kenny. Everybody eats.
Everybody eats. But I say with Jimmy, I say for the IC title, you get like a nice little circuit between Jimmy, Nakamura, and even
It sounds
LA
Spanish,
Knight.
man. Nakamura.
Nakamura. excuse me.
Nakamura.
Yeah, I said what I said. Nakamura, Jimmy, LA Knight, and Carmelo. Carmelo Hayes. Give them out there. They have a nice
Okay.
little
Yeah.
put that circuit between those four for the IC title where they all try to compete for it.
For the IC or for the US?
I'm sorry, excuse me, for the US title because Jimmy and Carmelo, they have good chemistry. The match was really good.
Right.
I could see them facing off sometime soon for the title. Either Carmelo tries to win it, and Jimmy tries to take it from Carmelo, and just make the little circuit, make the circuit between the mid card titles popping again. Let's keep the same rotation popping, and they all want to try to take back the gold. Like Randy and T said earlier, like keep the reoccurring matches. This makes us draw. Constant continuity doesn't die. The only thing that dies is having an open mind to things. Keep it going.
I did forget one thing. I just don't know you want to tackle it now or next time.
What's up?
Triple H Hall of Fame.
Oh man.
Oh man, you got to talk about that.
Yeah. Kick it off, Randy. What do you think?
Go ahead. What you bust it? Set it off, Randy.
All right, y'all. If you don't know, Triple H is gonna headline the 2025 Hall of Fame in Las Vegas. Hunter, Sean and Taker surprised him at the headquarters. From what we know, Hunter did not know what was going on. He got blindsided, surprised, and from the entire team, they said it's well overdue, well deserved, and you are going to headline this Hall of Fame class. And we don't know who else is going to be in it, but one, congrats to Triple H. He's already in there for D-Generation X. So he'll be a 2-time Hall of Famer. And I don't care if people say, "Oh, he put himself in." This is him just pumping himself up. Like Triple H is gonna be Hall of Fame regardless.
Right.
Agreed.
Whether he does it or the board or TKO, he was gonna get in regardless. And the fact that he's going in now is a lot of questions. Like, damn, who should induct him? Just a basic wrestling question, like what his favorite matches, what is Triple H's Mount Rushmore of matches, those kind of conversations. But I start in a row. Terrence, who should induct Triple H in the Hall of Fame?
I mean, I feel like there's only
comes down to two people. If you ask me.
It's two answers, right? It's either Ric Flair or Shawn Michaels.
I think you have one. You have
Oh,
one.
is Taker your other person?
I said Sean or Stephanie.
Oh, I don't think Stephanie can do it. I
Why
think
she
she'll be
like
too
too
emotional.
emotional?
Yeah, I don't think she's gonna get very emotional about most people, but I think this one she'll be a little emotional. So I think if we're gonna, it's got to be either. It's probably got to be either Flair or Sean. Uh,
Mm,
those would be my two, just based on, I mean, all the things we know, right? Like
Yeah.
how much he really respects and cares about the two of them in real life,
Mm-hmm.
right? What they both meant to his career and him to theirs, um, and how synonymous he is with both of them, but also probably if it's like 90% Flair, like it's 99.9% Shawn, right? Like you can't really think of Shawn Michaels without thinking Triple H. So I feel like it's got to be one of the two of them. I don't hate the Stephanie idea. I just feel like she's gonna want to be in the crowd and just enjoy the moment.
Mm. Kenny, who should induct Triple H?
I'm gonna say Shawn Michaels is one because that's his best friend. History with that, and
Mhm.
DX is so, like T said, Triple H and Shawn Michaels go together like peanut butter and jelly, like Kool-Aid and sugar. So that's all good. My second one, I based it off of what they've had within the history. I think it might be Stone Cold. It could be
Okay.
Stone Cold. You
Mhm.
know, like we grew up with this whole thing that we knew two people like legit hated each other. Like they hated each other. They just worked together, but
Mhm.
they hated each other. And that was Austin and Triple H. Every time they would be like face to face, yo, it's on site. You talk about on
Yeah.
site, it is on site. And they gave us so
Mm,
much great times with that. And they brought the best out of each other. They always had a good their matches always when they come went up against each other, like people remember those times they went up against each other or their feuds. So I think it will be a good nod, your rival, because they always try to be outbest each other. Your,
Yeah.
your rival to nominate you in, that really shows like a level of like respect. You know, as much as we always competed, is nothing but respect. And you know, despite it, I think that will be almost very like showing, Austin, giving a head nod saying like, yo, you may have been better than me as much as we fought a lot, but I got to give you this too because you deserve to be in there too. So I would say Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold would bring Triple H into the hall.
What could have been good or great? Um, Not a bad option. Like they had the Rock induct Hunter too. Like that.
Yeah,
That would be like
that would be good too.
that'd be nice too. Could they? I think that is. I think that's Hunter's greatest rival.
yeah,
Um, Obviously Sean was a rival too, but I think just wasn't long enough. If
yeah,
if I
and,
if
and,
I
and
have
no
the
one
time frame,
associates them as rivals, right? Like they're just. You're right with
yeah,
the Rock,
they're more best friends. They're more DX than like, oh, that's my arch nemesis compared
right?
to Rock and Hunter. If I did a Mount Rushmore of Hunter's rivals, it is the Rock. Um, Batista
Batista.
could Batista be on there? Taker.
I don't mind. Sorry, no.
I'm naming. I know Rock is in there. The
Rock,
other three of nemesis for Triple H rival. Um,
Stone Cold.
I don't see I
You
don't
don't
see
see
Stone Cold
Austin?
for
I would
Hunter.
say
No,
Stone Cold, Cactus Jack.
nah.
Yo, this is harder than to pick a full.
I think Undertaker's. I think Taker's in there
Really,
because they fought 3 times at WrestleMania,
WrestleMania 17.
27 and 28.
Yeah, okay.
All right. I think I think Batista is in there because I think he had more rival with him than Randy Orton.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I will give you that.
It's not Edge. It's not Jericho. It's
right?
not Kurt Angle.
Not Cena.
Not Cena. I think it's Rock,
Okay.
Batista, Shawn Michaels,
And Taker.
Undertaker.
I don't hate that four. I
Yeah.
don't hate it.
I got Rock, Undertaker, Stone Cold, and Mick Foley.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
All right.
But
I
my thing
gotta
is
throw mine.
after that 2000 with Cactus Jack,
I would go
when did
back
they
to
go back?
I would go back even further, 97 or 98 in the Madison Square Garden, that
Oh yeah,
hardcore match.
yeah.
Even when I say Mick Foley, so all three faces, because they had, with Mankind and Triple H as well. So I mean, the Boiler Room match, Triple
Okay,
H hit Mankind in the knee with a sledgehammer. So they got a history of that, Mick Foley and Mankind as well. Or you see the unorthodox of Mick Foley, but he worked well with the game, the Brolic
hmm
Assassin. So they really worked well with some good matches. So I would say Mick Foley. Mick Foley will be up there as a good rival for Triple H
you
because he
agree,
really got
Terrence? McFoley should have a spot.
This is tougher than I would have ever guessed that it would be. I'm trying to think of who I would put
Wait till
as Triple
wait
H's.
till my next question.
Okay. Uh, I,
Oh,
I would say
what's yours?
in terms of rivals, I gotta lean a little closer to where Randy went, where I'm gonna definitely say The Rock. I think him and The Rock are like each other's
Yeah,
greatest rivals, if we're not counting he who we do not name for The Rock. uh
thou shalt not rename
yeah,
names.
right. I'm gonna probably say The Rock is as great as I definitely think Stone Cold is right there. Because I think the three of them, like they were
That
you could
era.
probably add Mick. I love Mick Foley. But the three of them were like the quintessential Attitude Era champions, right? So they kind of are in the mix. I know Sean kicked it off, but we know what happened, right? So it is what it is. But anyway, I would go. So yeah, that's Rock. That's
Austin.
Stone Cold. I agree with Undertaker. Uh,
So you down to McFoley or Batista?
man,
I ain't gonna lie. That's damn near even. That's
yeah,
damn
I
near
know. Like it's kind of like a 4A 4B. I hate to be that guy, so I don't want to do that. I'm a
even.
I'm a oh man. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna change it and I'm gonna go Sean.
And
Mm,
you know why? You know why I get the edge to Batista
Why is that?
wow.
because Mick Foley, Cactus, Mankind, all that never beat Hunter for the world title. They he never beat Hunter for
You're right.
for a world championship. Batista did,
You're right.
That's fair.
That's fair. But
and it kept going back and forth. Evolution. So, my last question.
what's
So
up?
this is dog, how do I ask this? All right, two part. I promise you, I'll let you guys go. I'm trying to think about DX, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're um we know they're very important to everything, right?
Of course.
Um faction wise, what it meant to the company, to both Sean and Hunter's career. Part one, where do you have DX all time factions? That's part one.
Okay.
Part two, I don't want to sound crazy for asking, but who kind of benefited more from DX? Whether it's Sean or Hunter?
Oh,
Like
I,
who
I could answer. I can
like
answer
who
part
needed
two.
DX more?
Go
I
ahead,
can
T.
answer part two way easier than I can answer part one.
Go ahead, T.
All right, start with part two.
It's Trips. I love Sean, right? But it's Trips because I
Okay.
feel like I feel like because they had started it together and they had the momentum, it allowed for a kind of easier passing of the guard. You know what I mean? Like because Triple H could just take over DX and then kind of elevate it and bring it to another space.
hmm
And it kind of felt seamless. You know what I mean? Like Sean, I mean, obviously Sean's a big a big
True.
personality to lose.
That's why when I asked it is like if you go back in '97, Sean was champion, icy, all that
Right.
Rumble winner. So it's like, did Sean really need DX or obviously I know Hunter needed it, but it's like I think it was kind of even though because what was Sean doing before they got
I
together?
don't know that it was even. I think Sean had already kind of elevated
Get
himself.
established.
Right now, I think him being the leader of a faction that became like pop culture relevant puts him in the at the time, right? Not now. I'm talking about like when let's talk about like early late '90s. It puts him in the conversations with the real greats at the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it begins his ascension into like, oh no, you're a forget Hall of Fame, dog. You're top tier. Like, you know what I mean? You're Flair's. You're I hate him, but it is the truth. Hogan's. You're you know what I mean? You're in another stratosphere.
Mm.
Now again, we know what happens, right? And he had to take his time away, and we understand mental health now more than we did in the late '90s, early 2000s. So it is what it is. But I'm saying that because they started it, and because it took like all that energy and all that momentum, it allowed for Hunter to kind of step into. Now it was a challenge. How do I become the leader of this thing, and how do I now show my personality and make it reflect me? But because it did, it put Hunter in another space in wrestling, in WWE, and once it dissolved, he was still able to be like, you know, his personality had blossomed to another level, so he could be the cerebral assassin when the
Mm.
time came. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's why I would say of the two, it benefited Hunter more because it allowed him to become the level of superstar that he then became. Sean was gonna be that anyway. You know what I mean? Like he was already on the way.
Yeah. Kenny, hold that though real quick. Hold on. Hold on, I got you. Come on, buddy. All right. So Kenny, I'll let you guys go with this. And you can answer your personal favorite or what do you think is the general consensus. Triple H's Mount Rushmore of matches.
Mount Rushmore Triple H matches. Oof.
That's right.
I would go with Triple H versus The Undertaker. Shawn Michaels is the special guest referee. That's one
Phenomenal.
Okay.
phenomenal match.
Hell in a Cell.
Hell in a Cell. Oof.
Mm,
Um,
stuck already.
it's. I mean, there's a lot of matches I can go that are probably not pay per view, but I want to go to that like some shows like on shows and TV. It was really good. Um,
Who?
groundbreaking like matches that came on Raw and SmackDown that were
Oh,
like
okay, okay.
groundbreaking. One would be oof, the Iron Man match between Benoit and Triple H was really good on
Mm,
Raw. I mean, the one between Rock and Triple H was good. I mean, it was like the first one we seen.
right?
That was the first one we seen. It came out for the Undertaker. That was really good. I would say one for me that was really good. Undertaker versus Triple H, WrestleMania 17.
Okay.
That was a really good match. That was the second to last pay per view. Hold his
Mm,
own. And then, oof, I would say Triple H versus Stone Cold at No Way Out. I want to say No Way Out and not Survivor Series
okay.
because that was more like a street fight. Survivor Series was, I mean, No Way Out was the 2 out of 3 falls
Hmm.
between Austin and Triple H, where no wrestle. It was a regular singles match, then a street fight, then a cage match, and that really Triple H got the win over that.
Okay.
Over Austin. So all three of those holders own about how Triple H is. Back to what you said earlier, Triple H is without. I feel like this. Michaels was the one who led the group, but he was the leader of the group, but Triple H he basically blossomed DX to what it was like,
Hmm.
and he benefited a lot more. I feel like everyone remembers a lot more of Triple H being with DX more than Shawn, because I know Shawn had to step away, but like you notice from early stages or so. But I remember, if I was to say, you remember all those moments and segments of DX in the early 2000s. They were not more so playing wise like they did in the early days. It was more about, taking people out, more about business, more about, the McMahon Helmsley era. We were about, we're gonna
Mhm.
take these people out. We're gonna we're gonna be crude and rude, but guess what? We're still gonna make you bleed and kick your ass and do so.
Yeah,
So that was more the DX that we seen, not, wearing the spit mask over Sergeant Slaughter talking or so, which was funny. DX was funny and definitely got me in trouble in school doing the symbol,
yeah,
doing the sucking symbol, but I would say it benefited Triple H a lot more. It helped more. Like, come on, DX was after that. DX went all the way to. We saw DX rise, even when they lost Billy Gunn. It was just three members. They still went on all the way to Survivor Series. I mean SummerSlam,
yeah.
and then they came back. Which brings to this: DX will be in my top 5 of all factions.
Oh, of course. All right. So hold up, Terrence. Mount Rushmore of Triple H matches. You can say from the general consensus or your personal favorite Hunter matches.
Oh, man, it's tough. I think I agree with actually most of Kenny's list. I was trying to think of like, well, okay, what's, but the one that I gotta say that maybe you didn't mention, Kenny, and this
Yeah,
one.
he didn't mention two. I'm surprised, but maybe you might
Well,
say one.
here's and I don't know which one I kick off if I'm being honest. But
So hold up, for the record, Kenny, you had the Hell in a Cell match with Taker.
mhm.
Yes,
You
in
had
my yeah.
WrestleMania 17 Taker.
Yep.
You had a Benoit match. I'm assuming,
Benoit and Triple H Iron Man match on Raw.
and then
Stone Cold No Way Out 2001.
okay, go Terrence, go.
Okay, I would take out Benoit's match
Okay,
and I would put in the curtain call. It has to be on Mount Rushmore for me because even though it was a house match and it's not so much the match, it's
but he
more
wasn't
than
in that
him.
match though.
No, he was in the well, yeah, he was in the match earlier that night. I know when the curtain call happened, he
Yeah.
wasn't, but that he was in the match either like right before or like that open. I remember, but it was against Scott Hall, right? Keep me
Okay.
honest here. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it was against Scott
Yeah.
Hall.
Before
But I'm
Razor. Yeah.
saying like that, it all to me, all of it blends together. So the fact like that was Scott Hall's last match, and then Kevin's last match was obviously against Sean. So I'm saying like the curtain call match, and he's the one who had the fall on the sword, right?
Mhm.
The impact of that event. I'm gonna put that match on his Mount Rushmore because of the impact of it on the business. So yeah, I'm with you, but I'm gonna take the Benoit off, and I'm gonna add the match at MSG versus Scott Hall that leads to the curtain call.
Okay.
Okay. Um, I'm gonna go with Triple H, Shawn Michaels, SummerSlam '02.
Oof, I forgot about that one.
Last Man Standing. I think it was Last Man Standing.
No, it was just a regular street fight.
Oh yeah, unsanctioned joint. Yeah, Street Fighter
Unsanctioned
unsanctioned.
strength street fight.
I'll go with the Taker Hell in a Cell. I'm going to go if I go in the early days, um, you know, Hunter's DX days. I'm gonna go with Triple H and The Rock from SummerSlam '98, the ladder match,
Uh,
Intercontinental Championship,
I had a feeling you might go to that one.
and Triple H. I will go Triple H, Cactus Jack, No Way Out,
Hell in a Cell.
the Hell in a Cell match.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
I feel like did any one of us say
I mean
trips?
that's off the top of my head right now. Like if you gave
No,
me a
no.
week,
I just started thinking about it because of like when you said Triple H versus Sean. Did any one of us say Triple H, Sean Cena?
No, I didn't think that one didn't
no.
come to my mind.
But I will say, what's a very this is probably more for John Cena's side. A very underrated match is Triple H John Cena from 22. Nobody talks about that match. Nobody talks about that match because they just forget about it. Cena won, but if you go back and look at it, that's a
Hunter was the
fucking
favorite.
underrated match, bro.
Yeah, Hunter was ruled the favorite to win that.
And my last point, again, I said 3 times, but very last point, DX factions. I think I want to break the internet, but I think along with the NWO. I think it has the most impact a faction has had because not just wrestling wise, we're talking entertainment, the pop culture,
Yeah,
all of that where the 8 million people were watching Raw and wrestling on a fucking Monday night. NWO is different, but it got diluted with 49 members, but DX
still tempting.
was.
The core
I mean, it was
three.
the right place, the right time, the right people. Even with China, even with Rick Rude, is an up and coming star with Triple H. You got a well established guy in Shawn Michaels, and to Kenny's point, most would associate Triple H and like the Outlaws and X Pac as DX more than Shawn because Shawn was really in it in the heyday of like a year. Then he left for years, and you know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of weird. Like he's the founder of DX. He's the father of DX.
Right.
But when people mention DX, oh, it's Hunter, China, the Outlaws, and X Pac, right?
I think
Like,
people know
Shawn Michaels, and
people know Shawn was in.
Yeah, but
You'd be surprised sometimes.
To me, I like DX1 than DX2. That's just me.
I like DX2.
I like the heel DX.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about Shawn, Hunter, China, and Rick Rude. That DX is DX I like, even though it was short because it was heel. Shawn was champion. They beef with Bret Hart. They beef with Stone Cold. They beef with
That's when they had Tyson. That's when they had Mike Tyson.
Owen Hart and Tyson, and they were just rolling and rolling. They did the skit on USA Network. They were on their bullshit. Right. I'm like, yo, who these fucking guys? Like, it wasn't like NWO. Well, I'm a bad guy. I beat you up. Nah, it was like they were comedic. They were funny. They were doing some high school bullshit. And the shirt. Let me tell you something. That DX shirt, aside from a Stone Cold shirt and an NWO shirt, and a name that we won't name shirt, is probably the top 4 shirts ever made.
Those shirts were banned. We couldn't wear those shirts in school and you used to get in trouble. I remember that. And I remember a lot of
cultural impact.
They said, oh, Mr. Suck it. Oh my God. You know how many times people
cultural impact getting suspended.
You gotta go DX
in a school.
We had a general assembly saying you cannot tell any teacher to suck it. You cannot do middle. Like, this is not the WW at the time. You cannot do that. Yeah. Yo, that was a whole general assembly. They said it to everybody.
Yeah. And I will put NWO and DX above the Horsemen.
Oh, I would put that.
The Shield.
What about Evolution?
Evolution, if you do the math, was like 1 year.
They seem like so
maybe a little more than a year because they broke up when they attacked Orton.
Yeah,
that was 04. 03 they had every world title, every championship belt.
Yeah.
I love the Hart Foundation, but I think Hart, that's probably my top 5. I fuck with the Hart Foundation.
Yeah.
And then now Bloodline, like, that's a conversation that's gonna creep up. Like, yo, can the Bloodline be better than the 4 Horsemen? Yeah. Can it be NWO? I don't know because of the cultural impact NWO had, and then also DX. But some are gonna say DX was a copycat of NWO.
So the NWO came first, right?
Yeah. But DX might lose a point because they copied it. So what?
I don't know.
I think they copied.
I gotta.
No,
Can I
because
take this one,
I
Kenny?
copy
You
meaning.
mind?
All right, if they doing a faction, my boys like Call and Nash. You know what? We gonna do this shit now. Could
I think here's what I would say to that. I would say it was more a response than a copy. You know what I mean? Like, and I've seen enough of the the documentaries where they even talk about it, where it kind of felt like somebody had to take the ball and run with it because NWO was starting to gain so much steam and they were so hot. Somebody had to say something so like that was like out
yeah,
like more outlandish, right? Because like NWO was just cool because oh shit, it's like our favorite wrestlers and they're bad guys now.
yeah.
To your point. Whereas it was like, we're fuck bad guy. Like that wasn't that one of their like not skits, but like one of their promos, I think was like Sean and Hunter kind of making fun of the idea of we're bad guys, we're good guys. Remember, like
Mm-hmm.
when they were in DX when they did that. And they just was like, yo, like we're just the Generation X.
All right. Again, I promise you. Last point, because I'm trying to find something that I keep thinking. Because I'm trying to.
Yo, as long as the points are good, I'm good.
Yeah,
All right.
it's all
All right,
good.
here we go. I'm at the 136 mark. Factions, right?
Yeah.
I'll name a faction. You both would answer. Give me your answer one by one. Of like, if I say X, are top five, like we're in the five. Number one, boom. Next faction, top five, but probably number three. I'm trying to figure out a different way to ask your top five, the top five factions ever in wrestling, as opposed to me asking you, Kenny, give me top five. I'm gonna do it differently.
Okay.
All right, Kenny and Terrence. Ooh, Kenny and Terrence. All right. I'll clip it from here. 137. Kenny, Heart Foundation.
Top 10.
We're in the top 10.
9.
Number 9. Terrence, Heart Foundation.
Since we just spoke of the Bloodline, I'm gonna put them at 5. I'll put them at 5. Why not? Yeah.
All right, Kenny, Shield.
6.
I gotta know what's your top 5, buddy. Shield, Terrence.
I'll give them 4. I'll give them 4.
All right, Kenny, 4 Horsemen.
5.
Oh, we're getting closer. 4 Horsemen, Terrence.
Damn. Oh, can I switch my answer? Because I think I would put them at. I'll put them at 4 and put Shield at 6. I'll put 4 Horsemen at 4.
Bloodline, Kenny.
3.
Ooh, Bloodline, Terrence.
3. That's why I had to move the 4 Horsemen.
Kenny, Evolution.
7.
Terrence, Evolution.
Damn.
I already have a 6, right?
You got 3, 4, 5, 6. So
All
it
right,
ain't
yeah,
2 and a 1.
Then I gotta put them
Like 7.
I have 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yeah, I have to put them at 7.
Kenny, New Day.
Uh,
It's a faction, right?
they
yeah.
are. They
Okay.
are. They are. 4.
Damn. New Day, Terrence.
Because it's Black History Month, I can't put them last. So I got to go 9. No, I got to put them 8. Right? I don't have an 8.
You can put him 8, or you can put him
I'm
2
putting them
or
8.
1.
Black History Month, man.
Nah, he knows what he's talking. I mean, respectfully, he
yeah,
can't,
you
but
fucked up.
I
You
know what he
fucked up.
means.
I just my blackness won't allow it, man. They gotta be 8.
Wow. Kenny, DX.
2.
Terrence, DX.
I got one word for you. 1.
Kenny, NWO.
Number 1.
Terrence, NWO.
2.
So Kenny, you have NWO, DX, Bloodline, New Day, Four Horsemen, Shield, Evolution, and then the Heart Foundation.
Yeah.
Terrence, you have DX, NWO, Bloodline, Four Horsemen, Heart Foundation, Shield, Evolution, and New Day. I'm not missing any other top tier faction, am I?
Uh, not the Nation of Domination.
That's a key one.
You could put
'Cause it gives
Nation.
us Rock.
Yeah. All right,
Nation of
Kenny,
Domination.
Nation Domination. Number. Well, you don't have a number 8 here, so you
8.
put number 8.
8.
Wait,
All
but I
right.
got 8.
Yeah, Nation gonna be 9 for you, right?
What's my 1 through 9?
DX, NWO, Bloodline, Four
4 Horsemen.
Horsemen, Heart Foundation, Shield, Evolution, New Day.
I'm gonna put Nation at 10.
Damn, not even number 9.
I think you'll appreciate who my 9 is.
Who's your 9? The
Uh,
Freebirds. Oh,
no. Although that would be interesting, but no. The 4 Horsewomen.
the Horsewomen.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what did they really do
I don't think
together?
there's a faction. I think they just noted themselves as the four.
Yeah, but they didn't really like
I
do
mean,
shit.
I guess I'm thinking about the impact, but you're right, Kenny. They weren't really a faction. It's just like it was more kind of like it's almost like the clique, right? Like they're not
They
exactly.
acknowledge themselves as the top tier women in the business.
Okay, I got a few to just throw out there. Corporation. Anybody? Corporation? Anybody?
Nah.
The Dangerous Alliance.
What? No, that was no.
Mm.
What about? And they're not exactly a faction, but they kind of are.
Oh, the Authority. Everybody hated them fucking
The
guys.
Authority was more like the upgraded that generation's corporation.
Legacy. Orton, Cody Rhodes, and DiBiase.
Uh,
No.
I would go more with the Ministry of Darkness
boy.
and maybe the Ministry of Darkness and Team Angle.
Team Angle, Ministry of Darkness. Wow, it's a lot of them. It's a lot. Oh, Judgment Day.
If we're talking about the Judgment Day with
Judgment Day would be like 10, maybe for me.
like the Judgment Day that has
Or
Damien,
Edge.
Rhea. No, I'm talking about the
Not Edge. No, I'm sorry, not Edge.
yeah. I wouldn't. I think the peak Judgment Day is Damien, Rhea, Dom,
And Balor.
Finn
Yeah.
Balor.
Yeah, that
I'd even throw JD's big ass head in there.
So Judgment Day number 9 then.
Well, I was just about to ask you guys. They're not exactly a faction. They're kind of more of a family, but they kind of behave like a
They're
faction.
faction, bro.
faction.
No. I'm about to say it.
Oh.
What about the Von Erichs?
No.
No. All right. Well, if no Von Erichs, then I'll go new Judgment Day.
All right. There you go. That is the final point for this show. Thank you guys for coming on. Cowabunga _E_N from my boy Kenny Holt. Lower East Scribe, my boy Terrence Watson up in Portland, Oregon. Taping this on February 4th. We got some good stuff from today, man. An hour 40 plus.
Yep.
Great show.
Great
Yes,
show.
sir.
I'll say so ourselves.
I know we'll lock in sometime. Either I want to say Monday after Raw. I don't work Monday, so I think I could do Monday. Terrence, you let me know. But also Friday, SmackDown after SmackDown. If anybody's around, let me know, and then we'll kind of go from there. All right.
Sounds good.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all. Appreciate it. I know what's happening soon.
Yes, sir. Be good.
All right. That's right. Yeet wave.
Heat wave. Come on, let it go.
Royalties, Hunter.
Let it go, baby.
I just want a T-shirt.
Yeet.
It's just me, Oos. I want the money, Oos. Come on, man.
Yeet. Come on.